Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. On my right, I have a incredibly special guest. His name is Tehran. I told you last night I've been following you since I was a kid, and there was a Persian channel, and I have a terrible memory, but we just saw this black dude speaking better Farsi than us.
First of all, I was a kid too, which makes it even funnier. But second of all,
you were a kid.
I was a kid too.
Let's not
throw me on. How old are you?
I'm going on 40.
I'm not even older than you. I'm younger than you.
So how were you so immaculate with your word back then?
Actually, I'll tell you.
Because you speak. I was telling my girlfriend yesterday. Have you ever heard the phrase "the King's English"?
Yes.
For whatever reason, you speak like the King's Farsi.
I speak
and it pisses
Farsi.
me off.
I speak Farsi pretty well. I speak it.
You speak it very eloquently.
If you didn't know, you would possibly think that I'm a native, like from Iran.
Oh, I would think you're like a 6-year-old man if I didn't.
And I'm half Iranian, half black, born and raised in the United States. And actually, let me even tell you how that show came about. Because there's this channel called Rangorang out of DC. And this guy named Dalvar owned it, rest in peace to him.
Okay.
And he was this he was this typical rug dealer guy who just had this.
I want to expand into
he had this channel, and we would go and record this show at the rug store. Now, the reason I did the show is because my dad, who's Iranian, loves watching Persian television. Yeah. Like, that's all they watch, know? Yeah. They love, especially back then. Yeah. Now it's kind of expanded. Now these new parents, they're watching. Options. Exactly. Yeah. They're watching NBC with their kid. Whoa. No. Go back to Rangorang. Go back to Tapish.
Is Rangorang still a thing?
No,
I was watching Rangorang in Denver?
Yeah, because it was a satellite, so everyone had the channel. And incredible. Iranians used to get this hookup where they could get the satellite channels just to be able to watch it.
Okay.
So I was watching, and my Bubba's watching. I'm like, this is so bad. And my Bubba turned to me and was like, if you think you can do better, you do better. So I found out where the shop was, met the guy, and he literally was like, okay, go on TV. And I started that show.
How old were you? You must have been young as shit.
I must have been.
Teen.
Maybe I was. Either I was just graduating high school or just started. Like, it was right then. Like, either in the high school, starting in college. It was like a call-in show, right? It was a call-in show because that's what Iranian shows were back then. It was like there was a phone and there was this other guy, I forget his name, Atabaki, where people would call and just curse him out. And he was on right before me. Okay. He was on right before me.
He was like the heel, if you will.
It was so funny. And then my show would come on, and my show was just about being kids and being, having Persian parents.
Or no?
I had co-hosts. Okay. So I had my friend Mitra, and another friend would swap out. Like, it was myself, my friend Mitra, who is also mixed, half Iranian, half Greek, like American Greek. And then we had another person who would come in who usually was like full Persian. Okay. And we would play this game called the Loghat game. And the Loghat game was...
For the English speakers.
Someone would call in, say something in English. Okay. And whoever said the Farsi translation first got points.
And they're like, this black motherfucker's killing everyone.
And I would win every time. And actually, one of the funniest things ever on that show ever happened. There was this one girl... I don't want to say her name just because, okay?
No, don't.
But she's...
Layla. It was Layla.
I don't even want... Let's call her Layla. Okay. Let's call her Layla. Yeah. So there was this girl who was the third host, Layla, and she would always get mad that I would win because she's that girl who was like, I read Hafez.
I know this girl, by the way.
And I'm like,
not her, but the archetype.
Yeah, exactly.
I know this girl.
It's a thing.
In Colorado, her name is
exactly.
Khale.
Exactly. It's a Khale. There's a Lale.
Yeah,
there's someone's Khale. There's someone. So she was really upset. She would always think she was more Persian than everyone, and so she tried to play the game, and she had someone call in for the word rainbow. She heard someone call in for the word rainbow. Now, do you know the Farsi word for rainbow?
I don't know Farsi. I barely know Farsi.
So,
I couldn't even imagine.
So it's rangin kamun. Okay. So it's like rangin kamun, and that's the most common word.
So for the listeners, she planted.
She had someone call in. So they said rainbow because they thought rainbow was going to be difficult.
Before they asked the question.
As soon as she said rainbow, as soon as the caller said rainbow, I said Rangin Kamun. Like, it's a word that I know really well. And the girl was like, But do you know the other word for it?
Oh, shit.
And before I could answer, okay, and this is why it's so funny. Remember, she's this proper girl, super proper. Always, she's the archetype, super proper girl. Yeah. Santur, you know that girl.
Yeah.
So the word is rainbow. I say rangin kamun, okay, which is a colorful
it's
bow.
It's the perfect word for
colorful bow.
Yeah, you want.
And then that's the word. That's the word you would use if you were walking around and someone
9
said
out of 10 times, yeah.
But then she said, and I guess she had like written it on her hand. She was trying to be slick. She's like, there's another word. I was like, and before I could answer, she goes, it's kose kuse. She says it's dead in the camera. Now, you don't speak Farsi.
Right.
But just to translate, kose kuse means shark's pussy. Now, here's the problem with that.
Whoa.
You can't say that on a Persian television show. Yo,
wait,
she says it.
Why'd she say that? I don't get
because I'm gonna explain.
Okay,
she said kose kuse, and she said it with her heart.
Confidence.
She said it with her chest.
Confidence.
And she looked in the camera. The phone lines lit the fuck up like. And I know what she said. Mitra, who's my co-host and one of my like closest friends, she's not like proficient in Farsi, so she's just going along with it.
Yeah.
But she's like, that sounds like a bad word. And then she's like, no, it's kose kuse. And then she starts realizing that she's saying something wrong. And then I see that her dad is calling. So I just pick up the line on her dad. And her dad in Farsi is like, Layla, obviously not her name. June, the word is Khozo Kazak.
She fucked it up completely.
So in Farsi, when you make a K, the G and the K look the same except for a line. And she had forgot that lovely line.
Checkmate.
Yeah, and that was the best.
This is one of the things I admire about you because I follow you on Instagram. I don't know how to say this. I hope this doesn't sound insulting because I swear to God I mean it as a compliment.
But you're the N-word. No.
You have a pettiness to you that I love.
Yeah. No. It's not
like
even
the fact that you held on to that for 20 years and now you're like,
yo, you have no idea. You have no idea. Because you know what it is? The problem is people forget that I'm only half Iranian.
Yeah.
I am half nigga. Like I am half black. Like that's just they think
I have some nieces that are half black, half Persian.
I love that for them. I love that for them.
They're and they also I can't say that word, but
yeah, but they have it in them. And my thing is, so when Iranians approach me, especially with some bullshit energy, they're expecting me to be like my big brothers Max Amini and Maz Jabrani, who are kind and sweet, and they will answer with all the love and patience in the world. I'm quick to be like, shut the fuck up, your mom's a hoe. You know what I'm saying?
You're literally half black.
Yeah, if you read my comments, if anyone ever says something wild, I respond. And I don't respond on some get mad. I will like strategically, and surgically tear you apart. And I sit there.
That's why you're one of my favorite Instagram followers.
And I'm sitting, even on my phone, I'm like, I'm gonna call something out when I see it. I'll post it. My story, it'll just be like, okay, you want to be famous? You're famous.
I think it was stemmed from the Palestine-Israel rant. Was one of my favorite things ever. It was like long as shit. It was incredible. I want to switch gears a little bit.
By the way, check out that clip just in case.
Oh my God!
Just so people know that there's a context to the content.
I feel like every American citizen should watch that clip because it really spoke to me. I want to switch gears a little bit. The fact that you went to that rug store and were like, I can do this.
Yeah.
Where did that confidence come from? Because that's something that sometimes I'm like all in on, and sometimes I'm not all in on. But I feel like a lot.
Yeah, but you're doing a podcast. That's like, you know how many people are like, oh, I should do a podcast. Sure. I would do a podcast, but they don't do it.
For you,
initiative.
As an 18, 19, 20-year-old, where did that come from?
I think I was like 17 to be real. And when that happened, it really came from the fact that it was that. Max calls it Dudul Tala.
Yeah.
I say Shumbul Tala. I call it the kiddie version, like the sweeter version.
Yeah.
Shumbul Tala energy. That confidence where
that's a t-shirt.
Just thinking where you think you could do things just because.
I get it, but where did that come from? Was that God given? Was it from your parents? Was it something in your upbringing?
It really came from. Honestly, it came from my family, but it came from being half black, half Persian. And when I say that, I don't mean culturally. It came from the fact that I needed to learn to believe in myself as a kid, or I would have gotten torn apart.
Damn near. So you're saying it's damn near a defense mechanism.
So you know how you have you said you have cousins that are half black, half Persian?
I have a cousin who married a black guy who I'm very tight with.
Yeah.
And they had kids.
And they have kids. So those cousins, okay, they're living in a better time where when your cousin married a black person, there was no issue. You know, maybe a couple of things here and there, but other than that, everyone probably loves the guy. They're like, Jamal, and they just love Jamal, you know? Right. And they just bring him in.
I mean, I hate the motherfucker. His name's Terrence. He annoys the shit
one of your closest friends. But
yeah. But anyway, sorry, go on.
So, Terrence, he was more accepted.
Yes.
And it became more common. But when I was born,
first
of all, being mixed wasn't really a thing until later. Like, that's why you have this whole influx of people like me and Drake and so forth and so on that are mixed.
Right.
We were that first generation for real. Before that, it was actually illegal in places in America.
Right.
So we're like this first generation of mixed kids. Now we just know mixed kids. Like mixed kids are a normal thing. When Denise Huxtable was on the Cosby Show, that was a big deal.
Bad,
there was their gorgeous. Like that was it.
Top.
Like being light skinned was like my teachers in kindergarten through like 6th grade used to comment that I was like, teachers would be like, Tehran, a teacher was like, Tehran's, you're not black. You're like an Oreo. Black on the outside, white on the inside. Like they would say stuff like this. They're like, you're not like black. You're like, you're like a caramel black. Yeah. Like they would just say stuff So, and they also try to teach us that slaves have to be slaves, but that's a whole other story, right? Like that was common stuff.
We've come a long way.
Yeah, but I learned young that I just needed to be myself, not worry about what other people are saying or doing. And I mean real young, like at the age of 5 young. And that confidence just stuck with me.
Did you have siblings?
I have siblings. There's 5 of us. Damn. It's a squad. And
where are you at?
I'm the oldest.
Oh, wow.
So it all started with that domino.
Wow. And then did your I'm sorry I'm getting psychological. But like I told Maz, we know you as the Persian. I want to get to know you as the person. So that's why I'm asking maybe questions you haven't been asked before. So do you think your siblings have picked up on sort of the way you've led them with that level of confidence? Or?
They definitely are very confident in who they are as people.
Good.
They all went into very different things.
Yeah.
I'm by far the loudest person in my household.
I feel like it's uncommon.
I have a very quiet household.
Okay.
Very quiet. My father's the nicest guy.
Okay.
My mom's the sweetest woman.
Are they still together?
Yeah.
Wow.
So like my parents, my brother's like this sweet, adorable, like my brothers are these adorable guys, you know what I'm saying? They're like so sweet, and my sisters are so like shark and like on it. You know, they all kind of have their own confidence.
I'm sitting here thinking, if I grew up in a Persian and black household growing up, the food must have been incredible.
The food was incredible, but it was mostly Persian. I'm not even gonna lie. It wasn't even like we didn't even really get any culturally black food for real. It was Persian food primarily. That's like what my dad eats. That's what he will eat. Like when he's like, "Let's go to a restaurant." Persian. I'm like, bro, you just had this food. Yeah. Like how much?
I told Maz I thought he should be way bigger than he is.
Sure.
I feel the same way about you.
Sure.
To me, I told Maz he should be Ray Romano. As far as talent and personality and likability.
But there's a reason.
I know, but I want to ask about you.
Ready. The world isn't ready.
I think you should be Andrew Schultz.
I get it.
As far as talent and personality and likability.
But people aren't, and I appreciate that because Andrew is one of my favorite people on the planet. One of my favorite comedians.
You guys are similar. You're in the same like tree
for sure.
Comedy,
for
you
sure.
know what I mean?
My thing with where we are is because we are opening the doors for the next generation and next iteration of the Iranian diaspora comic. These new comics coming in, you know, like Nima Naz.
That dude is so fucking talented. I want to ask Maz about it. His accents are unbelievable. I want to get him on this.
Like that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for. I would have never existed if there wasn't a Maz.
Right.
Literally, Max Amini is the first person to put me on stage. Wow. And the second person to put me on stage was Maz Jobrani.
Yeah.
And the person who inspired me to move to LA and do comedy is Maz Jobrani.
Wow.
And the person who took me under his wing and raised me and took me. And comedy raised me and took me under his wing and took me touring and everything is Maz Jobrani.
Yeah.
And Max Amini's like my brother. And Amir K.
Yeah.
You know, and these guys are like, we're like a family. And I love Omi Jalili. Yeah. Like these guys do so much for us. Omi Jalili did movies so Maz could do movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maz did comedy so Max could do comedy.
Yeah.
Max started breaking the, like, instead of just being like the common, like, hey, what's your name? Like, doing so that I can talk to the crowd and bring up experiences and bridge out to more the same way Maz's crowd, you know, when you look at that crowd, you would think it's all Iranian. It's not.
And
it
actually,
white,
I went to the 9:45 show last
night.
I expected it to be full Persian because I was here 3 years ago with your Magic Johnson joke, which is still to this day. Did you retire that joke?
Yo, that joke retired. Like,
if you ever do a special,
if
you ever do a special, you have to put that joke in.
You love that joke, right?
I don't think I've ever laughed harder at a joke. Yeah. But the show last night, which is 3 years post your last time y'all were down here, was way more diverse than I was expecting.
Yeah, you look Indian era.
White.
Because we all have white. A lot of white.
Yeah. I didn't expect that.
So you have this, people don't realize we're way more alike than we are different. Like, they think this is just only for Iranians. It's not. It's immigrant comedy. Is George Lopez just for Mexicans?
Yeah.
Is Fluffy just for Latinos?
No. But, I mean, there were white people just for y'all last night, which was really cool. Do you have anything? I do a thing called the That's Enough list. Is there anything on your That's Enough list that's like, that's enough of that bullshit? It could be small or big.
I can tell you, my thing is my common like founding characteristic is that's enough. Like, I feel that about, like, so I'm at that level. I can go, like, this isn't a segment for me. This is a lifestyle. So that's enough. I can start like that's enough, and I can like go all the way. I can start all the way from, if you don't have 1,000 followers and you're posting, you know, bikini shots, that's enough, right? I can start. If you only have pictures of your cat and you're asking me to follow you back, that's enough. I can go all the way up to, if you're dropping bombs on each other for invisible lines that we draw in the sand and pieces of paper that we give value to, that's enough. That's enough. Like, so I feel like humanity, that's enough. Because we love being like, oh, the world's going to end. Nah, humanity just ends. Actually, the world will thrive. If you want
more of this, please follow it on Instagram. I love it.
So it's real. Like, that's enough. A lot of that's enough.
I appreciate you, bro. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? I'll leave it at that.
Honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to be here in 10 years, but I'm going to enjoy every single year.
Good. Right on.
I'm going to enjoy every single day I can.
Listen, man, I appreciate you. I told Maz the same thing, but I appreciate you representing us, or you're half Persian. You know.
Yeah, but it's representing. Listen, here's the thing about it. You're full Iranian, and you were born and raised in the United States.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm half, and I look it.
Yeah.
But on the inside, you're half too. Two cultures.
American and Iranian. American heritage.
But do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, you are half Iranian, half American.
Yeah.
I just look it. But all the immigrant kids are all mixed because we're dealing with two different cultures at any given time. Yeah. We go outside, you're in Denver, you're in the USA. You step inside, eat on. Like, you're taking your shoes off, you're eating kebab, you know what it is. You know? And sometimes they cross over. Sometimes you take that kebab to school for lunch because your parents packed it, and now the whole schoolroom smelled like shit.
Right.
And they don't realize, like, kebab smells like shit, especially the second day. That's enough. But the idea is, it crosses over.
That's
all
enough
the time.
Kebab second day.
That's a real thing.
Kebab companies, figure out a way so that the kebab the next day doesn't smell like that. How about that? That's enough.
You can't though. Kebab is good. Listen.
You think it's like a part of the DNA of kebab?
It's got kebab.
It's part of the charm. It's part of the charm.
Let me explain.
Okay.
Persian food is so good.
It's the best.
That you stink after eating it and you still eat it. You would never eat some. You know how many times you've been like, oh, I don't want Indian food because I don't want to smell or I don't want diarrhea. Wow. You take that from her. You're like, yeah, she's just gonna have to love that onion. She's gonna have to love this onion. Get this onion. Come here. You want garlic? Come here. Like, we really live that life.
I get it.
You know, Indian food is good, but Persian food is great.
Yeah.
Like, like Italian is very good.
Very good.
Very good. But
if it smelled bad, you wouldn't eat it.
You've been hungry after Italian food. You can eat one Persian meal and not eat for 2 weeks and you be all right.
All right. Thank you. Anything else? You have anything random you want to talk about?
I just really appreciate you.
I appreciate you
doing this. Straight from Denver, connecting, creating. Absolutely. That's actually a thing. So that's a vibe. Good
Thank
for you,
bro. Thank you so much for doing this. Do you have anything to plug? Tour dates, anything like that?
Find me on social media at I am Tehran all across the board. My name is Tehran, like the capital of Iran. So if you don't know how to spell it, just watch Fox News. Literally talk about me every day.
And follow him on Instagram. That shit. All right. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Peace.